Hello and welcome to day 13. As we continue on our journey of emotional discovery, let's conclude our conversations about the valuable gifts that our more challenging emotions offer us by opening both our heart and our mind to the true nature of disappointment. In terms of its potential, I actually think that disappointment is one of the most underestimated emotions that we are gifted with. And whilst a great many people struggle with disappointment, like all of our emotions, it's never the raw emotional component itself that's the problem. It's what we do with it. Regardless of the way in which we receive and experience disappointment, as a raw emotional component, this dynamic emotion always holds an active position, presenting us with a profound opportunity for choice and for change. Disappointment is giving us information, and it's good information. It's letting us know that something's not okay, and it's asking us questions. How would you really like this to be? Where would you like to go next? What do you want to do now? In life's journey, disappointment is like a fork in the road, a point at which we can choose one of two directions. We can use disappointment to reinforce old beliefs and our subsequent patterns of behaviour. We can remind ourselves that nothing ever works out for me. I'm just unlucky. You know the kind of thing that I'm talking about. This road is an old familiar track, a route that's known to us, and while safe and familiar, it takes us backwards, living life through the same old lens, the same old perspectives, travelling over the same old ground. Alternatively, we can take a different road. We can choose a new direction. We can take alternative action, and this can completely alter the course of our lives. Disappointment can become a significant turning point, creating a kind of rites of passage to a new pathway and a new direction where we can begin to experience life from a new and different perspective. Whether or not we're aware that these choices are available to us will depend on our ability to listen to the information that disappointment brings us. It will depend on our ability to listen, to pause, to reflect and to consider before making choices and taking appropriate action. So for disappointment to sit in its true position of creative opportunity, our mind and our emotions will need to be actively engaged in conversation with one another. As an active ingredient in our pot of raw emotions, disappointment automatically opens up and activates other emotions. Our ability to effectively put on the brakes and engage in reflection and consideration will be relative to our ability to feel our disappointment and to understand it without reacting to it. The understanding that our mind brings to this influential conversation needs to dance thoughtfully and sympathetically with the powerful feelings that inevitably show up when something doesn't work out the way that we had hoped. The way that we perceive and relate to disappointment will tell us a great deal about the health and the well-being of the relationship between our mind and our emotions. And this extraordinary relationship will have a direct bearing on our emotional resilience and durability. capacity to tolerate and to bear our disappointment, to listen to our disappointment, to know our disappointment as good information, is an excellent indicator or gauge of our internal emotional resourcefulness. It's a good indicator of the health of our self-esteem and the health of our confidence. The more that we can embrace disappointment, the greater our opportunity for conscious choice and healthy change. So let's welcome disappointment as a valuable signpost. A signpost that signals the potential for a transformational opportunity and opens the doorway to step up into a healthy ownership of choice and active co-creativity in our lives. Let's meditate together. As we begin this meditation, we will focus on our thought for today. Disappointment opens doorways of opportunity. Disappointment opens doorways of opportunity. In the first part of our meditation, as you hear the singing bowl, we will focus on allowing the release of any stored up emotional tension. We will also be mindful to release any need for self-analysis and mental understanding of any of our feelings that surface. And we can release any disappointment we have about the way that we feel. In the second part of our meditation, as you hear the singing bowl again, we will move to a place of stillness, a place of calm, a place of thoughtful limits, knowing that we can choose to return to a place of further release at a later time. Now, making sure that you are in a safe place, get into a comfortable position. Close your eyes and allow yourself to breathe naturally, gently and deeply. Become aware of any areas in your body where you are feeling tension or any discomfort. And as you breathe out, encourage that part of your body to relax. Allow any tension and any emotional energy associated with that part of your body to arrive without any form of judgment, without any form of blame or criticism. As emotions surface, allow their release and then return yourself to breathing gently. Disappointment is such a powerful experience. It gives us so much information, and yet very often we find ourselves feeling very reactive to our disappointment. Disappointment is very often an experience that can derail us. We can really use disappointment to reinforce any old beliefs we may have about ourselves. Old beliefs that really have no place in our present lives. Let's gently allow these feelings to surface and gently let them go, knowing that we can really learn to listen to ourselves. We can really learn to understand that disappointment is here to support us in making healthy and appropriate choices in our lives. Allowing disappointment and any other emotions attached to it to surface. Noticing this particular emotion in our bodies and letting it surface. We can then gently let it go. It's time to place a safe boundary around this part of our meditation. It's time to bring the release of emotions to a close. As we clear the space within ourselves, we can begin to relax and move gently into a space of stillness. a space of presence and a space of calm. Continue to breathe naturally, gently and deeply. And as you hear the singing bowl again, we'll draw our meditation to a close. it's time to draw our meditation to a close. Throughout the day, remind yourself from time to time of our thought for today. Disappointment opens doorways of opportunity. Disappointment opens doorways of opportunity. Keep this thought in your mind and perhaps write it on a piece of paper and carry it with you. From time to time during the day, remind yourself of this thought. And be mindful that at any point in our lives, and at any age or stage of our growth and our development, we really can learn to understand our emotions. We really can embrace any of our more emotionally challenging experiences, including any that hold disappointment. Disappointment really can support us in moving our lives forwards. Disappointment really can support us in creating new pathways and new opportunities that are far more appropriate for us. Take care.